YouTube, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Timmer from Credit Kingdom, once again with another video of 2022. And today, I would like to say, first off, I appreciate you all for subscribing and liking the channel. The channel is still growing, so I appreciate that from you all. So if you are new on the channel, please subscribe and like the channel as well. Now, if you have any question or concern, you can also contact me on my Facebook business page at Credit Kingdom. So today I will be discussing and explaining how to get a car with your CPN step by step, and also the process that I took after my situation that happened. So if you all don't know, lately I've been into a car accident, and luckily, blessed to God, I'm safe and I'm okay. Wasn't injured, anything like that. So as you all know, that's my first accident. So I'm pretty sure if you don't know, when you get in a car accident, of course, the insurance company has to write a check. And based on our situation and my situation, what occurred was that the car got totaled out. So the car value, since the inflation is at a crazy high right now, so the value of the car was like $20,000, but the actual payoff amount was like $13,000, and the total damage of the car was like $19,000. So they eventually, the insurance company eventually wrote a check. So once they wrote the check, before we went to go get the car, I told my wife, I'm like, hey, let's play it smart. I mean, you don't want another car on your credit report because the debt income ratio. So your debt was pretty much way too high. The mortgage that's reported on your credit is crazy high as well. But you got good factor because you're paying on every month. So it all pretty much weigh itself out. But in the end, it's still a bad thing too, because you want to go get something new or different. They can see like, damn, you got all this debt. So hey, that's too risky for us to try to give you, like I said, another credit card, another loan, because you got so much that you paying for already. So I say, hey, this is what we're gonna do. We got this check. Instead of paying off the car with the check, we got this credit card over here. We can take some of that check and throw it on the credit card, pay the credit card completely out. And then what you do, you call your credit card company like, hey, like, pretty much they can see all the on-time payment. You never missed a payment. You always never overuse the card. But in this scenario, I mean, you just paid off, $10,000 credit card. So they'll see like, damn, okay, the bank and the creditor, they'll see that and like, hey, now you can ask for, a credit limit increase. You had this card maybe like 4 years already. So they will pretty much look at that. They'll pretty much give you another $10,000 or $15,000 just on this credit card alone, because you just paid off a huge amount of it, and plus your history with the bank as well, having a checking account, having a savings account, for all these years with them. And so I explained that to her, and she was like, yeah, you're right. So we still in the process of doing that well with the credit limit increase. I'm like, hey, now once they put that credit limit increase on there, you can then go back and pay off, the car loan, rather than using the check that the insurance company sent us to pay the car on. Now, put the car loan on your credit card. You got the credit card increase already, so why not pay the car off with it? And so once we're in the process of getting that done, paying off the card, the credit, we can just continue, paying on the credit card rather than, to the car lot people, because the interest rates pretty much were a little bit, it wasn't high, but it was just, you get more benefit. Now you got to pay it off auto loan on your credit report that is showing. Now your credit score is going to skyrocket through the roof. And now, in the near future, if you wanted to, you can go get a more expensive car if you want to, because now you got a crazy auto score that's generated with this paid off vehicle. So she's like, yeah, you're right. Went through the process, still going on. And the whole thing, I told her about the whole CPN, she thought it was pretty much a scam, but I really broke it down to her, gave her some information on it, because she didn't understand it. So I just told her, showed her this credit score of the CPN. She, whoa. I'm like, she thought it was my credit. I'm like, no, that's not my actual real credit score, but it was built around my name and stuff like that. So what happened was we went to, because I wanted to get it in my business name, the vehicle. But that didn't happen because my business only, a year old, unfortunately, and they didn't really have, a lot of trade lines reported. It did have a pay desk score, but it just didn't have, the trade lines and history that they was looking for. The dealership was, and of course I had the bank statements, the pay stubs, but they want to know if your business can stand alone without your individual, income and stuff like that. So I eventually went to Nissan, gave them. They asked for um, ID, front and back, and they didn't ask for my physical Social Security card number. They just asked me for the number itself. So I gave them the social number for it, and everything pretty much came back good with it. So they get to talking about the terms, the monthly payment, not monthly payment, but the down payment. Do you want to finance or you want to lease the vehicle? And pretty much you finance the vehicle. And for you all who want to get a vehicle, the easier process that you want to do is to either go through like Vroom or Carvana. They really just giving people cars. Because I know with Vroom, I was looking at like a 2021 Jaguar, and they pretty much told me that I had to put like, I told them I was gonna put $2,000 down on the vehicle. So I was just testing and trying to figure out something with the down payment. So they said, hey, got this 2021 Jaguar. It was like 55,000. So they did the number, ran the number. Hey, we'll ship this vehicle out to you, but you'll have to be paying like over 1,000 a month. I was like, whoa, I'm not doing that. So, and another thing was I said, hey, how about I give you guys another 4,000? And they said, okay. So he hung up, ran some numbers again. He eventually called me back and he said, hey, yeah, we pretty much did the numbers and it was still, in 1,000. I'm like, hold on, what's going on? And I'm like, this all starting to make sense now because I've been studying some other stuff with down payments as well. Like pretty much your down payment really doesn't goes towards the principal of the car. They add your down payment towards all the other fees such as dealership fees, taxes, and it's just a bunch of scams. So it's like, so that's more money for the dealership. The more money you get them, that's more money they're gonna put in the dealership's pocket and the commission fees that the employee is going to get. So that's why it's best educate yourself when you is trying to get a car and what type of down payment that you're trying to get. But the best way is to like I said, get financed through your bank, and they write you a check. And you just take that check up there and give them the check for it. Because the bank that you got a relationship with, they're gonna pretty much give you a better deal anyways. But like I said, with Vroom, the only thing with Vroom, they have used cars, but it's just like buying a brand new car. Well, it's not like the price of it, as I should say. So like I was looking at Cadillac, Jaguar. I was looking at a bunch of different things. But let's say like Nissan. I like Nissan. It's just a natural, normal car, right? So I was looking at the Nissan Maxima on there. They had like a 2021 Platinum. It was like 40-some thousand, but it was only, well, it wasn't. It was like, let me see. It had over 20,000 miles on it, but they still wanted like $40,000 for it. And that's the thing, they overcharge for their vehicles, especially if you're trying to get it in your business name, because they just gonna, they just give it to you. You just have to have proof of insurance, your ID, and I think another document, I forgot. But yeah, front and back of your driver's license, they wanted to see upload and proof of insurance. And pretty much once you get that to them, they pretty much gonna ship you out the vehicle once you put that down payment in, and your vehicle should arrive within a week or two. And that's with TrueCar, Carvana. And the best thing too is to go with Ali Financial. We finance with Ali Financial. So if you go into a dealership, just tell them, hey, do you guys work with Ali Financial? And most likely they'll try to say, they'll try to play you, but most likely they do. Because Ali Financial are financing a lot of auto loans at the moment, especially, with businesses. And you guys can finance with your personal as well in a CP. What else I wanted to say? So yeah, it depends on what dealership you go to as well. So Nissan is like, it's not a foreign dealership, it's just a, natural, car lot. So And you can also go to B lot. So, but if you're going to like a foreign, like I said, Mercedes Benz, BMW, if you're trying to go to like the top tier dealership in person with your CP, they'll want to see a lot more documents. So they'll probably actually want to see the actual physical copy of the social, the physical copy of the ID, the bank statements, the pay stub. They probably want to see everything. But I think if you go through, like I said, a third party such as Carvana, TrueCar, Ali, what's that? Vroom, then your the risk level is actually lower. But they just want to see, certain documents such as, like I said, your ID, just a picture of it, and you upload it, proof of insurance, and boom, you get your car. So, and like I like to tell people, don't try to go get something that you can't afford just because you want to look nice in it. So I knew I couldn't afford that, Jaguar, but eventually one day I'm going to get it. And so it's like, if you go to get a vehicle with your CPN, and like, damn, okay, I got it, but shit, how I'm finna make these monthly payments every month? So eventually you finna crash out the whole CPN. It's finna get destroyed. So now you got a repossession on it. Then you gotta take all this time and energy out and money to try to get it deleted off your credit report, or now you gotta start all the way over to make a whole new one. And it's like, why not just, work your way up, stick with something small, make monthly payments on it. You do a lease, put a little bit down payment, drive about a year or so, turn it back in, get something new. So it's always about make it make sense, make it what works for you in a situation. So like I said, the process wasn't hard. Like with any dealership, you're gonna be in there for maybe 3-4 hours, depending on how crowded it is as well. But yeah, Nissan, we went there, told them, hey, I'm trying to get this in my business name. I told them I just wanted the business credit on goods. I also tried a PG, so I was like, hey, put it in the business name. If I ever default, I'm a PG for it, and then it'll default and hit my personal and business credit. And he was just basically telling me he just had to go on this. He didn't know it was a CPM. Let me clear that straight. He just thought it was a regular, profile as well. So another thing too, I did try to get a car before, and I pretty much got denied because of the situation. It wasn't really built properly, and I actually got denial letters telling me why. The credit history wasn't strong enough. Pretty much, like, it didn't really have high limit credit cards on there. It didn't have like over 2 years of history, so it was fairly new. So it only had like look, credit card limit like $500. They start you off with $300, stuff like that. This is before I even really knew how to add. Well, not how to add, but what type of trade lines to throw on there. But eventually, I just told y'all I threw on. I think I threw on Discover. It was like 10,000, and I think the Chase was another 20,000. So altogether, the total credit limit was pretty much a little over $30,000. And of course, I had the primaries too, the rental karma. I ain't add. I had rental karma, but you could add. I think you can add rental karma and re-report it to your profile as well, and add some trade lines. You can go to Trade Line Supply, Trade Line Vault, or Coast Trade Lines. Go to those websites. Get you about 2 or 3 trade lines. And of course, the dealerships and not the actual dealer, but the lenders and credit, the bank, they know it's a trade line. That's why you have to have your primaries on there to offset the trade lines as well. So it makes it seem like you actually do have some type of other primary trade lines reporting, such as you get a credit score on there. They report like a $10,000 limit. You paying like, I think, like $200 a month for that. You get to self like a $500 limit they report, but you want to get something that trade line that actually have over 5,000 limits, such as primary. So like the credit score, it's more as well. So yeah, that was the process if you're trying to get a CP in your business. And another smart move that we made, because when you apply for something, the entry is going to hit your credit report right then and there. So they ran it up on the inquiries. So like 3-4 different banks, and they even try to finance you in-house too with their own bank they have in-house with the dealership. So what I did, I disputed those. I think the next day, and the account wasn't reporting yet. The account not reported to the next 30 to 45 days anyway. So now I'm just waiting for the inquiries to come off because the account not on there. I just say, hey, it wasn't me, fraudulent inquiries. So upload a dispute letter to Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion, whichever one they are reporting to. And that's the next best strategy. So now you got auto loan on your credit report that's showing, but no inquiry. So yeah, like I said, subscribe to the channel, like the channel, continue to support. I really appreciate you all. So it's only up from here.